Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success. And the music didn't fade away, so I hope you heard that. I will repeat it just in case. You are listening to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients. The purpose of this show, what I do on this show is I have two primary focuses and formats. I basically bring on subject matter experts on one or both of the segments. We usually have about a 30-minute segment and then a break and then another 30-minute segment. And they'll talk about their trials and tribulations and what they went through as an entrepreneur and also what they do and what has helped them become successful in their business. And in hearing that, it's hoped that you will be able to navigate through whatever storms may come up, because you'll, A, see that you're not alone, and B, you will have heard how somebody else had gone through those and prevailed, and how they prevailed, more importantly. And then the second thing we'll do is I'll give out tips, free tips and methods and information that will help you, whether you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or even if you're in marketing and you work for someone. These are things that they might need to know as well. So our second episode today, to the first episode, I'm going to talk to you today. I'm going to talk to you about the new Google update, BERT, B-E-R-T. And I'm going to give you a little background and a little analysis on how that will, how it is affecting you and how it will continue to affect you. And in the second episode, we'll have Paul Barres come on, and he helps people with sales, and he has a system that uses and really helps people accelerate their sales. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to money, right? So if your business doesn't have customers and clients, it's like oxygen. So you actually need customers and clients to be in business, right? So learning better ways to sell and serve your potential clients or current clients is always a gift. So Paul will be coming on roughly 11:30, 11:35, and then he'll talk about how you can perfect your selling. But now let's talk about Google's BERT update. Now the BERT update, it's it's the biggest change. Now I've written some stuff, and I'm going to ad-lib from there because I want to stay focused. So I've written down some stuff, and I also want to let you know if in fact I don't get through everything I've written down. I take all of this episode, like all episodes, is archived on both WCAP 980's website, the radio station that hosts the show, as well as my website, rcsonlinesolutions.com, and on my personal YouTube channel, Ronald Couming, Couming. So, and I take the text of whatever I talk about, and I put that right in. So the video will be there, and then there'll also be the text, just in case I wasn't able to cover everything, so you don't miss anything. Okay? So, and it's also in case you hear something and you're unable to write it down, you'll be able to go back and check out the archives. So that's a long-winded introduction. So let's give you guys some information for sitting through all that, okay? BERT update, it's literally the biggest algorithm update that Google's done in about 5 years, and it's affecting 1 in 10 search queries. With the Google BERT update, Google aims to improve the interpretation of complex long-tail search queries and display more relevant results. By using natural language processing, Google has greatly improved its ability to understand the semantic context in search terms. And by that, I mean, we've all known, and I've talked even for, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, that everything is over 50% of all searches right now are done on people with phones, but by talking. Yeah, we have Siri, we have Google Assistant, and people are talking into their phone. Even on my laptop, I have a Mac, and I'll click the button and I'll say how to spell this, right, or whatever, instead of actually going and searching. So search terms, if Alexa, what's the weather today? What's the weather tomorrow? Where's the best pizza place in, Billerica or Lowell or wherever you live? So much is going to search that I've been telling people for a long time. You really need to have your content be prepared for that. And here it is. Now, BERT Google has recognized it. I mean, they knew it long before me, right? But, because they got all the data, right? And the data I just gave you, the 50%, I got from an article that I read from one of Google's people. So you really got to get your content, your information. You got to prepare it for for searches on phones, because people, when they search on their phone, it's a different search term and phrases than when they're actually typing, because people talk and type differently, right? So that's what basically BERT is a logical development for Google, following in the footsteps of Panda, Hummingbird, and the RankBrain. Those were also three big updates. However, this time we're not looking at a change in the way the data is indexed or ranked. Instead, Google is trying to identify the context of a search query and provide results accordingly. So this is an exciting addition to the context-free models like Word2Vec and GloVe are able to offer. For voice search and conversational search, I would expect to see significant leaps forward in the quality of results in the future. So, keep that in mind. So when you're preparing your content, you're preparing that for your client, right? You're not preparing it for the search engine. That's an important thing you have to keep in mind. But to not understand how the search engines are going to process your content and act accordingly will hurt you, but it will also hurt the people you're trying to reach and help, because they won't get your information, right? So you have to balance the two. Remember, Google is all about providing the best user experience for its clients. Me being a business owner, I'm not its client. I mean, if I'm paying them for PPC or something, then I become a client. But their clients are, even if they're not paying them, other people who are using the platform. And those are the people that they really care about. They want to make sure that they have the best user experience, so they continue to use this platform opposed to others. And the more people that use this platform, the higher Google can charge people who want to do pay-per-click or advertise or whatever, right? So it is a business. So let's talk a little bit about where BERT has been rolled out. And again, this is going to get a little bit heady, and I've taken a couple of snippets from other people, like I said, who work in Google and stuff. So we're going to quote them appropriately, and but the whole text will be in the description of this video when it's up on YouTube, and as well as my website, right? So BERT went live October 24th, so it wasn't too long ago, however, BERT's influence isn't yet identical across all countries in aspects of search. So while it has rolled out, it hasn't, affected everything and everyone fully yet, but it's going to, okay? And it's so organic search results. To start with, the BERT update has been rolled out for calculating the U.S. search results on Google.com, affecting 1 in 10 search results already. So 1 in 10 results are already being affected by this. Now, in other countries, BERT has not yet been activated for the organic search results. This is planned to take place gradually for more countries indexed. And there is no full fixed timeline for the release of BERT in other countries. So, I mean, for us, we're in the United States of America, right? And for the most part, that's where we're going to be doing a lot of our searches, right? I mean, I don't know if you're going to be jumping on a plane anytime, or you're using some type of a proxy server and you'll be searching from another country. But for now, this is already rolled out in the U.S. So let's just focus on that, okay? So here's a featured snippet. Here's another thing. The rollout of BERT update is happening differently for featured snippets, which appear above the organic search results at so-called position 0 and included in text, table, or list. For these results, as Danny Sullivan explained via Twitter, BERT is already been used in all 25 languages for which Google shows featured snippets. All right. So, and 0, you have the first spot, and then you have like the questions above that, right? Those are the ones that are considered 0. Okay. In this regard, Nayek's original blog post was somewhat misleading, in which Danny Sullivan used Twitter to apologize, providing clarity and other future explanations. It explains BERT is already live. All right, so it's to be more specific. The blog post explains the BERT is used for general rankings now in U.S. language. All right, so it's done. So what does BERT mean? Okay, and it's B-E-R-T. You can just Google this and you'll get a bunch of information on it as well. So the abbreviation BERT, B-E-R, stands for Bidirectional Encoder Representation from Transformers, and refers to an algorithm model that is based on natural network. With the help of natural language processing, NLP, machine systems attempt to interpret the complexity of the human language. And you can find more detailed documentation on BERT on Google's AI blog. Now, AI stands for artificial intelligence, right? And, everything is really, you're going to have AI and VR, virtual reality. These, I'm not going to tell you that they're coming and they're going to really be a part of our lives, because they're already here and they're already a major part of our lives. And people, they're busy, living their lives and doing their thing, and they're just not aware of what's going on unless they're in that particular field, right? So, in their field, they know what's going on inside and out. But so simply put, Google uses BERT to try to better understand the context of a search query and to more accurately interpret the meaning of the individual words. This big breakthrough is built on a mathematical model called transformers. These analyze a word in relation to all other words in the sentence, or in the case of Google search, the search query, and do not simply look for the meaning of words in isolation. This is particularly useful when interpreting the meaning of a proposition and the position of individual words within a search query. So, I'm telling you this because it's very important that you understand about BERT, okay? Now I'm going to tell you why is the BERT update so important for Google. And if it's important for them, it's important for you. If you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, or you're going to be, or you work for someone and you're in their marketing department, you're helping them get their products and services out in front of people, you have to know some of this stuff, right? You don't have to be an expert in it, but you have to know enough of it that it doesn't hurt you, right? So according to Google, around 15% of all search queries are new. That means that they are being searched for the very first time. Furthermore, the phrasing of search queries is growing closer and closer to real human communication, meaning how we actually talk to each other opposed to, typing formally. In part, under the influence of technical advances like voice search, the statistics service CompScore experts the proposition of voice search to hit 50% within 2 years. Another factor is the increasing length of search query. Today, 70% of searches can be considered long tail. People turn to Google with fully formulated questions and expect precise answers in a fraction of a second. And BERT now makes up a significant part of that technology and makes that possible. So it really is. It's going to make the people who use Google, which is all of us, right? It's going to give them better results, okay? But like I said, I don't want to beat the point to death here, but as a business owner and an entrepreneur, when you're putting together your content to put out there, so the people who can benefit from your products and services, you have to know how these search engines work. And again, again, I'm repeating myself, but you don't have to be an expert, but you just got to know how they work, so you can formulate your marketing and your branding to be more effective. So let's give you a little bit about, so for many years now, Google has been working on neutral networks that can correctly respond to new search queries and improve the interpretation of content. Hummingbird is an example. That came out in 2013. So Hummingbird was incorporated into the Google algorithm. This algorithm update made it possible to better interpret entire search queries rather than just searching for the individual words within a query. All right. And then we had RankBrain, which came out in 2015. And RankBrain became part of Google's algorithms, and it was declared to be the third most important ranking factor. This made it possible to process search terms with multiple meanings or otherwise complex queries and go beyond the normal long-tail search. With RankBrain, it also became possible to process first-time searches, dialogues, and things like that. So what I want you to understand is you've already been affected. If you have a website, your content has already been affected by BERT. I mean, you may have been on, the first page, spot 7 or whatever, just as an example, and you might now be on page 2, spot 5, right? Or whatever the case may be. So BERT's impact affects long-tail search queries. BERT improves the interpretation of context for longer queries that are entered or spoken for voice search into a search bar as a question or a group of words. So on their blog, Google provided a few examples of search queries that BERT helps understand better and for which the search engines is now will provide more relevant results. They gave an example. I actually have it up in front of me. I'll include the link in the description, but it just basically talks about, it gives the example of somebody who put in a search and then their result. And this example, which you can't see, for an organic search result, according to Google, the importance of the word to and its relationship to the other words were previously underestimated. However, the word to plays an integral role in the meaning of the sentence. We are dealing with someone from Brazil who wants to travel to the USA, not the other way around. And BERT's model, the BERT model makes it possible for Google to correctly understand this distinction and provide better results. So to give another one where it's parking on a hill with no curb, all right, and parking on a hill, uphill when headed, and they give the examples. And the examples from Google's blog post, which deals with evaluating search results to choose the most relevant featured snippet. That's what they show you when you do a search, right? The focus used to be placed heavily on the word curb, ignoring the importance of the word no. This meant for a featured snippet was displayed that was of little use, as it actually answered the opposite question being posed by the searcher. Now, this is kind of complex, and I could have talked about video marketing and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, I have talked about video marketing and retargeting ads, and but at the end of the day, if you do have your content or you have a video, so you create a great video, right? You want to post it up on YouTube, right? We get people ranked on the first page of Google, YouTube quickly. I mean, I just did an event with Frank Kern and Grant Cardone in Miami last week. It was a 3-day event, a business boot camp. And to show what I could do with my SEO skill set, I created a video here, me sitting in my office in Billerica, And I created the video, and I said, who is the best SEO expert in Aventura, FLA, Florida, right? And so I created the video, and in the video I said, I live in Billerica. I don't live in Aventura, but I'm going to an event there, and I wanted to get this. I'm going to create this video on Wednesday. I'll have it ranked, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, while I'm at the event, when I'm talking to people and I want to show how good I am, I'll use this video as an example that I got ranked in 2 or 3 days in short order in another state for whatever I wanted, and also that they could too, right? So, and that means awareness equals opportunity. If people can find you, they can consider you and then possibly hire you, right? But if they can't find you, then they can't even consider you. So when you know how the search engines work, right, I was able to create that video, and I got myself ranked as the best SEO company, the best SEO expert, and then comma, best SEO company in Aventura with an A, FL in Florida, right? Because there's a couple of Aventuras, so you got to put down the FLA. So that's important because I was ranked, and I looked yesterday. I'm ranked number 1 and number 2, and there are people in that city that are SEO companies and SEO people, and they've been there for 5, 10, 15 years, whatever. And I've in 2 or 3 days, I've knocked them off the first spot, right? And I did that with a simple video that I made on my phone here. And one, it is because I know what I'm doing with the SEO. But the other thing is I know how the search engines are looking at content and how they're pulling content up. And I tell you that because once you understand that, and you don't have to master it, but once you understand the fundamentals never change, right? And even though Google's come up with this update, the fundamentals of the algorithm have never changed, right? It's all about giving the user the best user experience. And as long as you're doing things, white hat, which means, there's white hat, gray hat, and black hat SEO, right? So you want to stick to doing everything white hat. And no matter what you do, as long as you keep doing that, over time it grows and grows. Think of it, an analogy I like to give people is a cup, and the cup is empty, and then you put a drop of water in it. That's a piece of content that you put out on the web, right? And then you put another piece of content out. That's another drop and another drop. Eventually, depending upon the length of time will be the quality of your content, how much content you put out there. But eventually, the cup will spill over from the drops, right? And the analogy there is that's when you will actually start to rank on the first page of the search engines. And, I have people ranking in short order for everything. I have funeral home. I have life insurance people, car insurance. I have, you can't imagine, I have like 79 active clients. And so it's any industry. Some people, I had one person who is here in Billerica, and he's been with me for like 4 years now. And it took me a little while, a couple of months, because he wanted to rank for life insurance, right? And but so he's not like Merrill Lynch or the big dogs, so Liberty Mutual, these huge that are spending $10,000-$20,000 a month on content creation and SEO, whether it's PPC or organic. They're probably doing both, but. So we got him ranked. So some things will take you just a little bit longer, but stick to the white hat SEO techniques and, learn, have a current view of what's going on with the search engines, and your business will flourish. You know what I mean? You have to, 89% of every dollar spent online is spent on the search engines, through the search engines. 11 cents of every dollar, roughly, is spent through social media. So that means every lotion, potion, course, book, sneaker, whatever you're selling, clothes, your coaching service, SEO services, website services, whatever you're selling online, 89% of every dollar transacted is through the search engines. So if you're only doing Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Pinterest, a lot of people aren't even using Pinterest, and that's a huge platform. You should really consider using that. But if you're only using the social media platforms, then you're leaving so much money on the table, and your ability to serve your customer base and those that need you and will benefit from you will be significantly decreased. I've gone on about this, and like I said, I'll put this up in the archives, so that will be on WCAP 980 AM's website, as well as Ronald's RCS Online Solutions.com, and also up on my Ronald Couming, Couming's YouTube platform. A couple of days, we'll get it up there for you guys, so you can go back and listen, and there'll be clips and text there. But now, if you have any questions for me, if you want me to help you or at least give you a free website analysis or something, you can contact me at Ron, R-O-N, at RCSOnlineSolutions.com. And I'm easy to find. If you just type in Ronald Couming, Couming, all my information will come up. And it's all positive. But, I don't have a single bad review. But anyhow, so you've been listening. We're going to have our next guest come on, so stay tuned. He's going to help you talk about sales made simple. He has this beautiful system that will really help you. Some people self-conscious about sales, or they're not good at it. They want to do better. Just remember, everything involves some form of selling. Even, telling your kids to brush their teeth. I mean, everything we do has selling. But in the business sense, if you're not selling, you're not serving. So you've been listening to Ron Couming on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show of RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success. Stick tuned for the next episode in a few minutes after these commercials.